the greatest wide receiver ever is not Jerry Rice. The only way Larry Fitzgerald surpasses Jerry Rice as the greatest receiver ever is if and when he breaks his receptions record, and if and when he wins the inevitable scripted championship to end the longest championship drought in North American sports after the Chicago Cubs broke the longest streak back in 2016. The Cardinals are the next team to do so, and both franchises started off in Chicago. Here's why there's no debate between who's the greatest wide receiver of all time. Jerry Rice broke all his records with the Hall of Fame coach and 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks that he played with his whole career. Who did Larry Fitzgerald have? He had a bunch of scrubs playing quarterback. He had a bunch of hot pile of garbage. He still puts up all these catches. He would have had way more touchdown passes if he had an Hall of Fame quarterback his whole career, if he had a talented coaching staff like the San Francisco 49ers had, if he had a much better supporting cast. Jerry Rice's teams were far, far, far better than these Cardinals teams. He was carrying an average Cardinals team in 2008 to the Super Bowl. There is no debate there. This guy puts all these numbers with all of these hot pile of garbage of quarterbacks. Josh McCown, Sean King, really John Navarre, catching passes from John Navarre, the great Kurt Warner that helped Larry Fitzgerald pick up the stats that he can. All these legendary moments by Larry Fitzgerald, the go-ahead touchdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the flea flicker to him against the Falcons, the trick play, the reverse, and Larry Fitzgerald catches it against the Philadelphia Eagles. He stretches and lunges to the end zone against the Carolina Panthers. He had the game-winning touchdown against the Green Bay Packers. Larry Fitzgerald was as clutch of a player in the postseason as Jerry Rice, and that is a fact. If you gave Larry Fitzgerald the 49ers, he would break Jerry Rice's receiving yards record. But Jerry Rice keeps the receiving yards record. Larry Fitzgerald breaks the catch record because he knows how to get open. Continuing on with the pile of scrubs. Larry the GOAT carrying all these quarterbacks, not complaining, not demanding a trade. Jerry Rice would have demanded a trade if he were on the Cardinals. We're not taking away Jerry Rice's greatness. This guy was a hard worker, and this guy went to Mississippi State. Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver ever, but he is going to be surpassed by Larry Fitzgerald, staying on the dysfunctional organization, giving him hot pile garbage of quarterbacks. This guy is the most ultimate teammate. LeBron James is the de facto GOAT in basketball, carrying all these garbage Cavs teams there. Larry Fitzgerald is the LeBron of wide receivers in the NFL, and he's not a quitter like Calvin Johnson. So continuing on with the list. Tim Rattay, really, I've seen this guy play against the Panthers. This guy was a nobody, really. Tim Rattay. Brian St. Pierre, I remember that guy. This guy was a nobody. Derek Anderson, 70th row Anderson. Max the Midget All Air. Oh, he was horrible. Listen, I was horrible. John the Skeleton there. Really? Really? Rich Bartel, really? Listen, I'm starting this guy, really? Larry Fitzgerald should have lost his mind back then. Really? Because I certainly have. But this guy is still keeping calm and continuing on. This brother is a legend. I have not seen any wide receiver like this. Kevin, I slip in a mat, I'm out for the year. Kevin Cobb, remember that with the Buffalo Bills? Ryan Lindley, don't get me started with the worst quarterback to ever play in the history of football. He was cheering Ryan Lindley in the locker room when he caught his one and only, when he threw his one and only touchdown pass. This player, Larry Fitzgerald, is a goal. Brian Hoyer, oh stop! This is Cleveland, England, stop! 14 of these quarterbacks, the list continues, what? Carson Palmer, that brother can throw. This guy was fantastic. This guy was amongst the top tier quarterbacks on his best day. He got Larry going. Drew Stanton playing horrible backup. Yeah, he's serviceable and all that. Blaine Gabbert, oh really? Sam Bradford. Josh Rosen. And now fucking the kid Kyler Murray. And the backup, if he plays a game and throws a ball, Nick Hundley. 21 quarterbacks and counting. This list may get to 22. The GOAT debate is over. He caught passes from these garbage quarterbacks over the years. He was still playing on the Arizona Cardinals. It's over. We're never going to see another player like that again. Now, Jerry Rice, he broke the record in 1995. In my birth year, 1995, the year of the pig, the last week of the season, he set the record. He caught his 115th pass. He became the all-time receptions leader in 1995. 1995 is the year of the pig. Larry Fitzgerald, the pig, is going to break his record. Larry Fitzgerald was born in the year 1983 over at Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is interesting because when we go to 1983 in this 12-year Chinese zodiac cycle, 1983 is the year of the pig. Jerry Rice breaks the receptions record in the year of the pig. Larry Fitzgerald, the pig, is going to be the next guy to break the record. He is going to break the record in the year 2021. Keep in mind that this is happening right before Lionel Messi and LeBron James becoming the greatest in 2022. He's going to break the record in 2021. The amount of time from 2021 and 1995, time span of 26 years. It's God that equals 26. You talk about Cliff Kingsbury, it's Cliff that equals 26 in Gematria. It's Cliff Kingsbury and his offense that's going to allow Larry Fitzgerald to become the greatest of all time. Cliff Kingsbury, greatest of all time. Larry Fitzgerald is just learning how to adjust his game and to run routes in the slot. He's adjusting his game like LeBron James, not driving to the basket every play or whatnot. That's what he's doing. And now, I want you to note something too, that, 2022 is the year of the Tiger, and Jerry Rice, born in 1962, this is the year of the Tiger. So if Larry Fitzgerald somehow gets hurt, or if he's somehow short of the record, 2022 is the ideal year to do this because that's the year of the Tiger. Or that he retires in the year 2022, right after he breaks the record. That is the interpretation, that he could retire in January and February of 2022. And Jerry Rice was born in the year of the Tiger. That's really interesting. Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver today. It's the GOAT. It's Jerry that equals 76 and 31. Larry Fitzgerald in his 2 Super Bowl touchdown catches against the Steelers. Jerry Rice had that go-ahead touchdown against the Bengals. Larry Fitzgerald had that against the Steelers. The NFL's greatest wide receiver also equals 76. The greatest NFL wide receiver is going to play for the Arizona Cardinals because he catches balls from over 20 different quarterbacks. The greatest wide receiver of all time is Larry Fitzgerald, 11. Fitzgerald, the GOAT for what he did against the Steelers. Keep in mind that a possible Cardinals-Steelers Super Bowl matchup could happen in the next few years because the NFL is going to script a Super Bowl for the GOAT Larry Fitzgerald like they did for the GOAT Tom Brady and the GOAT Peyton Manning when he was with the Broncos, when he was with the Colts. greatest NFL wide receiver of all time is, yes, Larry Fitzgerald. And funny how my name equals 182, and I've been watching Larry Fitzgerald all these years. The year I changed my name from Anthony to Tony, that was the year that Larry Fitzgerald made it to the Super Bowl. Funny how through the Kabbalah this happened to be the case. Greatest receiver. What Kabbalah says about it. Fitzgerald 11 equals 81. It's Fitzgerald 11 that equals 171. Oh, look at. I thought greatest of all time equal to 171 there for a second. But what he did against the Steelers put him up there with Jerry Rice, people. Larry Darnell Fitzgerald, the GOAT, Tampa Bay, Florida. There's a Super Bowl coming up at Tampa Bay, Florida, people. Fitzgerald 11 from Minnesota. His loyalty playing for all that trash at quarterback. Wasted his career with Matt Leinart and Derek Hall and John Skelton and all these years and Josh McGowan, and don't get me started, could Jerry Rice handle that? We're never gonna see anyone like Jerry Rice and Larry Fitzgerald again. But you put Larry on an already great team and an already great coaching staff, and with the greatest quarterback ever, the debate is over. It really is. It's loyalty. It's Larry that equals 29. Part of the legend of Larry Fitzgerald in the last Cardinals championship and the amount of time after that. Really interesting what we got going on here. Larry, Masonic, Jesus, occult, the year 20, lining up with this gematria of 74 too. My name equals 74, interesting enough. It's like this is all meant to happen here. This is really interesting what Kabbalah is about to reveal. Wide receiver GOAT, Arizona. It's 49ers as gematria 55, and we're talking about Super Bowl 55 that all of this could happen when we go to the all-time receptions list. Keep in mind, Jerry Rice, 1549, and Larry's 1,303 catches. And you divide that up. You divide this up, okay, 246. So that's 123 balls a season. So this would have to happen in the third year. 82 catches a year, and that's doable. If he were somehow to play a fourth year in 2022, the year of the Tiger, well, that's 60 catches a year. He could easily catch 70, or he could average 80, and he could get hurt and still come back strong. When I think of 1995, 24, and 2022 is going to be a big year for LeBron, winning the three-peat 24 years later. If Larry breaks the record in 2022, 2021 has to be the case. He would have to break it in 2021. That's a year numerology of 61. 2020-21 adds up to 7 as well. I think there wasn't much geometrically with 7, but when you think about his nickname, Fitz, 2020-21 adds up to 61. This is an ideal year for this to happen here. And now, receptions record will have to be entered to the gematria calculator too. It's going to break it. The NFL is going to script it that way. They're going to do so. I mean, the all-time NFL receptions record as a gematria of 144, and Larry Darnell Fitzgerald, the GOAT, has that same gematria, and that lines up with this Super Bowl performance over at Tampa Bay, Florida, already as it is. So this would have to be 2021. And that was 1995 that he broke it. That's 26 years. That's a perfect number. If we're talking about 26 is the right one here. It's 26 years later. I need to derive some other meaning with the 26 there. But 2022 would have to be the year that this happens if Larry Fitzgerald is not on pace. But you can easily see that Larry could even retire at 39 years old and not just 35 years old. So he's got easily 3 to 4 more years, really easily. Because it's Arizona that has that gematria of 39, so I can easily see Fitzgerald even retiring at 38 years old, because it's Minnesota that has that gematria of 38 once again, and Larry Fitzgerald being all loyal and all that. Larry was drafted in 2004. That was the year Jerry Rice retired. And 2022 is going this GOAT record, this receptions record is just going to connect to the, LeBron breaking the points record. It has to. It has to in some way. And LeBron James, let's see, being born in the year of the rat, and how next year is going to be the year of the rat is going to be really significant in another big way as well. And I'm here to leave that for a different video. But definitely 2021, this would all have to happen by that time for Larry Fitzgerald to pass Jerry Rice. Larry Fitzgerald is a pig. He broke the record in the year of the pig. I can see the retirement either happening in the year of the tiger, or Larry Fitzgerald breaking the record in 2022. I mean, really significant events that could happen at that time. It's just really hard to, Larry Fitzgerald won the Cardinals' first NFC Championship game in 62 years, and Jerry Rice was born in the year of 62. He was pick number 16. And so 16 years later would probably have to be the answer for Larry Fitzgerald. The amount of time from, 16 years is going to be another big thing, too. Think about Jerry Rice's 3 Super Bowls. And you scroll down here in the Gematria, the GOATs of wide receivers, 3 Super Bowls for Jerry, and then 1 title for Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald, number 3. Larry Fitzgerald's going to win the Cardinals' 3rd championship 3 years after the Super Bowl at Minnesota. That's really what we have going on here. 2022 will be really practical for Larry Fitzgerald to break the record at that time, but I think he sets it even sooner. And I just have to point to the birth year. That's probably why this happens in the year 2021. Because 1983, let me add this. 1983 as of the 21. So I would have to see this even happening in the year 2021. That's when I'm going to predict him to break the record, but astrology can easily predict 2022. I could see the retirement happening in 2022. That is more likely to happen. Larry picked number 3 in the draft, and when the Cardinals their 3rd championship 3 years after the Super Bowl hosted at his birthplace of Minneapolis, Minnesota.